the inquisition into what has happened in the past. So the governor said he wanted to know what has happened in the past, which has been touted as a simple witch hunt.
Not necessarily so, because if you followed the development, we did not have any smooth transition. So we came in practically flying blind, and the government had no idea of what the assets. But there was a
transition committee on both sides.
Yes, but the side of the outgoing government was not providing the necessary information. So it became stalled, and nothing really came out of that transition committee. So the governor thought it wise to set up an asset verification committee to have an idea of the entire assets, because we had so many conflicting information. What we thought belonged to the state, we were now being told did not belong to the state. And a lot of information were not adding up, so the governor decided to set up this asset verification committee to confirm what belongs to the state and what does not belong to the state. And it has been very revealing from the report submitted by the committee.
What did you find out?
We found out that the best way to describe it is that there was a lot of corporatization of what belongs to ordinary Edo people, in the sense that in the name of investment, consultants were brought in who were not Edo citizens to run the state and use that as a platform to fleece Edo people's common resource. And sometimes in the name of investing in projects, I'll give you an example, for example. You know, the Radisson Blu Hotel project. This is a project initiated by the state government. An SPV was formed under the Ministry of Finance. At the end of the day, they went to the capital market, raised about 17 billion, provided land worth over 2-point-something billion. So in total, this money constituted about 70.9% of the total cost of the project. And along the lines, a foreign investor came in to provide the balance, which was just about 20%. But towards the tail end of the administration, a month to handing over, a new company was formed. The state shares were transferred to that new company. And we were now told that Edo State now owns only 20% in Radisson Blu. That's really abracadabra. If you brought 80% of the fund, you now own 20% of the shares.
I'm able to explain to you, because what you see and what is also what happened could be two different.
No explanation. Letters were written to this new company, Tilbury, that was formed around September of 2024, just a month to hand over, and they never responded. They never appeared before the
What
police.
would you say that Okpebholo has done in these 100 days? We see him go to schools, we see him go to roads that are under construction before he came into office, and the opposition is saying, why are you owning what has been on the ground? This is not your own initiative.
Not at all. If you followed what has been happening, you discover that he is going to places where there is problem. For example, the very first day he was inaugurated, he went to Ramat flyover. It's a big problem. Edo people have been talking about it. Ramat bypass, it's a problem of gridlock. And he said, we will create a flyover here. And in a week or two, work started there. We went to classrooms. He went to classrooms to see schools, to see the state of a popular program by the last administration called Edo Best, and discovered that it was nothing but a scam, because the infrastructures were dilapidated. The school infrastructures in Edo State is still where Comrade Adams Oshomole, left it. And so he undertook to reconstruct these schools and renovate them. And then for roads, he has initiated new roads, up to 13 new roads.
Which are these roads?
They are there.
Which are there?
For example, the flyover, for example, the Benin, the rehabilitation of the Benin-Auchi Road, the Epoma, the failed axis. I think it was always in the news. It was an eyesore for Edo State. And that is the place where the former governor used to put a big board. Please bear with us, this is Federal Road. But he said, Edo people, 90% of the users of this road are Edo people. Even if it's a federal road, we can engage with the federal government, reach an understanding, we do the road, and Edo people benefit. And that is what has happened.
How do you capture this project that are not appropriated for? Because you're just getting into your own forced budget. If this has not been in the initiative of the past government, how do you then begin a project that has not been appropriated for?
They were appropriate for. There was a supplementary budget that was passed immediately we came in. So it was prepared by the last administration, but they couldn't pass it because the House of Assembly didn't take it. So immediately we came in, they passed it. So we started working with that supplementary budget, and then we continued with the 2025 budget. So they were all appropriated for, and they all followed the normal procurement rules.
So there are those who say Okpebholo came into office and was complaining that even some police stations were in bad shape, and he was going to fix the security apparatus in the state. But nothing, as of the time that he mentioned it, and now has been done in that respect.
Something
in the very first week, he said it, he made a noise about it. Oh, our police stations are this, and that's why crime. But almost 100 days later, nothing has been done.
Well, security is, you need a multifaceted approach to tackle security. It's not just about fixing police stations. By the way, there are actually projects fixing police stations among some of the projects that we have listed in our 100 days to show. But outside that, he has provided security vehicles, for confronting criminal gangs, kidnappers, and all that. In the last administration, what we had as security vehicles were rickety, fairly used Siennas. Now the governor procured brand new Toyota Hilux and also motorbikes, mini power motorbikes.
Out of the security votes.
Of course. So these are going to be given to security agencies, all the security agencies. And then we are also setting up and validating the Edo State Security Network that was banned and later called back. And that has now been empowered to, provide security for
because
people.
We need to close. He says that he initiated the Back to Farm initiative. He was talking about the education. And there are those who are already laughing in the opposition to say, look, Obaseki has taken education in Edo State to the level that Okpebholo may not be able to comprehend, because Obaseki, according to him, is coming from a private sector that understand how these matters. So when Okpebholo comes in and says, oh, he wants to take education to the next level, they started laughing. Just to wrap up, Back to Farm, the education initiative of Okpebholo. What are you exactly up to?
Back to Farm, I will give you numbers. Obaseki, the last budget he did was 5.9 billion for agriculture. But because we are following the federal government initiative, agriculture is a big deal now, The Okpebholo increased the agriculture budget from that to 70 billion. That's about
from 5 billion.
From 5.9. That's about 1,000% increase. That's indicative of what he intends to do with agriculture and food security. Now, talk of education. The whole concept of Edo Best was a scam. It was nothing but PR to access World Bank's 75 billion grant. That's the summary. If you want to see the facts, you come to Edo State, you see the facts on the ground. No infrastructure, no teachers, no personnel. Now Okpebholo is reviving that.
Because
that is
you look at the ladder in which your state has climbed over the last few years in education ranking in Nigeria. Is that also a scam? The performance of your students in the state?
No, that is not the case. But when you don't have the teachers and the infrastructure, in schools in big local governments like Oredo and Ipoba Oka, you have no classrooms, no schools, no desk, no windows, no teachers. You buy a tab that needs power, no power.